You mentioned a little bio-operational excellence. You're pretty big on just doing the basics well, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You know, everybody can take one step at a time. We don't need to put men or women on the moon, right? And we can talk about entrepreneurial and innovative journeys and whatever. Many brilliant businesses are built on meeting customers' requirements excellently, consistently, you know, and we don't need to go there. But from Alexander Dennis's standpoint, we had a bit of kind of smoke and mirrors, black art, call it what you like. We were coach builders. So that means we had some brilliant tradespeople with excellent skills, but every bus then fundamentally was unique. So we then had to look at how do we accelerate that drive towards more process orientation. So, you know, you have a brilliant design, you execute it well, and basically every product is the same. Then when you have to go and support it and maintain it, it's exactly the same. So that's what we started to focus on. And things like, you know, oil leaks, water leaks keep buses off the road. So see for 40 or 50 pounds in a bill of material, go and find the fixings, the clamps, the connections that don't leak, right? You know, a Jubilee clip might be cheap, but it costs us 200 quid every time one of them fails because there's water or oil leaking onto the pavement. Spend an extra 30, 40, 50 pounds in the right fixings, the right fastenings, and actually with digital cameras, you could take photos of what good looked like, laminate them, have them in the workstation so that there's no excuse not to do it right. We used to corral 6 buses every day, and between 12 and 12:30, me and a handful, a couple of guys from the paint shop, a couple of guys from the assembly line, would go and kick the tyres. I wouldn't necessarily know the technical features of a bus if it ran over my neck, but I knew what good looked like, I knew what a paint run looked like, I knew what a dodgy panel gap looked like, and that's what our customers saw. You go pick up a new car, right? If it had a ding or a scratch or whatever, a bit of damage in the alloy wheel, you wouldn't accept it. A bus is 200 plus thousand pounds. Why would you, you know, up to the price of a Ferrari? So on day one, that bus, yes, it may be scratched after a week. Yes, somebody may, you know, graffiti eyes, if that's a word, on the inside or whatever. But on day one, make that experience brilliant. Cover the seats in plastic bags. Have a runner all the way along the central aisle so that once the bus is delivered, you take the bags off and you take that runner away. It smells beautiful, it looks pristine, and you've got a delighted customer. That's not putting men in the moon. That's just doing the basics really well.
And were you super hands-on at this? I take this as the sort of stuff that wasn't delegated.
I walked the factory every day, and in the first 2 to 3 months, I mean, I brought in some people from a previous company, people that I had confidence in. I'm from the west of Scotland. I was brought up in Shotts, you know, working class boy, not your stuttering toff. So, and used to working with unions. So I was quite comfortable getting out there onto the shop floor. And when I actually saw, for example, someone sitting having their lunch on a bus with their feet up on another set of seats, I went ballistic, and I used, you know, the Queen's vernacular or vocabulary, or call it you like, you know, to great effect. And things like that get around. So walk the talk, in early, stay late, relentless, minimum walk the factory for an hour, different routes, chat to people. Some folks would tell you everything that was wrong with the business. Some people would rather avoid eye contact at all costs because they were either shy or reluctant or whatever. But over time, you get, it's like that, you know, the Good to Great book or whatever, the analogy of the flywheel spinning. You start to get a wee bit of momentum. People were proud to work for Alexander Dennis when they were out of the factory because they would, you know, talk to people in the bar, or if we sent them on international missions, it was great product, great company. We had to try and have everybody proud of the product and the customer experience from the factory. We did up the toilets, we did up the lunchrooms, we painted the damn place, all the basic stuff, you know, just to try and create a wee bit more, not just feel good factor for the team, but when a customer came in, they thought, these boys are not going out of business. This is clean, it's tidy, it's organised. That gives me confidence that the product will be right. So basic stuff, but had to be done.